So, what do you get when you mix a sanctioned nation sitting on trillions in oil, a secret directive from a former US president, and a huge hidden stash of Bitcoin? Well, you get the story of the Trump, Venezuela, and Bitcoin problem. And believe me, it has massive implications for the entire crypto market.
Okay, to really get what's at stake here, you have to start with this number, $17 trillion. That's not a typo. That's the estimated value of Venezuela's untapped crude oil. I mean, on paper, this makes them one of the wealthiest nations on the entire planet. But as we all know, the reality on the ground, it's a completely different story.
But here's the thing. While everyone is watching the oil, the source material we're looking at today suggests the real story, the one that could totally shake up the crypto world, it's not about what's in the ground. Nope. It's about what's on the blockchain. We're talking about Venezuela's Bitcoin.
All right, that brings us right to our first section, this wild contrast between the country's official oil wealth and its secret, hidden crypto reserves.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the difference between what's officially on the books and what's believed to be hidden away. Officially, Venezuela holds something like 240 Bitcoin. But according to multiple analysts our source points to, there's a much, much larger shadow reserve. And how did they get it? Apparently by selling oil for the stablecoin Tether and then swapping that USDT right into Bitcoin.
So, while the government was secretly building up this stash, a totally different crypto story was playing out on the streets. You know, it's that classic tale, the people versus the state.
And this was the catalyst. In 2018, the IMF reported that Venezuela was dealing with 13,000% inflation. Let that sink in. 13,000%. That's not a typo. Can you even imagine your money losing value literally by the hour? This kind of economic collapse, it forces people to find another way.
So for regular, everyday people in Venezuela, crypto wasn't some hot new investment. No way. It was a lifeline, a tool for survival. You had people mining Bitcoin and Ethereum in their homes, not to get rich, but just to have a stable currency to buy food and hang on to whatever value they had left.
But the government? They saw a totally different opportunity. For the Maduro regime, crypto was allegedly a tool to sidestep international sanctions. It was a way for them to move money around outside the normal financial system. I mean, think about that. Two completely different uses for the very same technology.
And right here, the story pivots. It goes from a national crisis to, honestly, an international geopolitical thriller. And that's because the United States is about to step onto the stage. Now, our source material brings up this incredible claim. Check this out. A supposed executive order from then-President Donald Trump to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the United States. The goal? To stack as much Bitcoin as possible, but without spending any new government money to do it.
And here's the plot twist. The source alleges that the Department of Justice went and directly violated that executive order. How? By selling off crypto that it had seized.
So, the process, based on documents the source cites, was pretty simple. Step 1, receive forfeited Bitcoin. Step 2, authorize the U.S. Marshal Service to, Step 3, immediately sell it. In one case, we're talking about 64 Bitcoin just liquidated. And that, the source claims, is a direct contradiction to the order to hold it. So, with the U.S. government's actions now under the microscope, the fate of Venezuela's massive, hidden crypto fortune becomes the big, central mystery of this whole story.
According to the analysis in our source, it really boils down to two possible scenarios. Scenario 1, the private keys are lost, and that Bitcoin is just gone. Forever. Poof. Or Scenario 2, the United States seizes control of it. Kind of like they did with some of Venezuela's oil assets. Okay, and here's the crucial point, and it's a pretty surprising conclusion. Whether that Bitcoin is lost or seized, the source argues that it's actually bullish for the price. You might be asking, how? Well, because either way, a huge amount of Bitcoin gets taken off the open market permanently. That reduces the available supply. It's a really fascinating, kind of counterintuitive takeaway, right? All right, so let's zoom out for a second. This single, kind of strange story is really just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Let's take a look at the broader tailwinds that are shaping the entire crypto market right now.
I mean, look at what's happening. We're finally seeing serious institutional money flowing in. You've got major Wall Street players, even Jamie Dimon's firm, building products on the blockchain. We're also seeing some positive signs of support from the U.S. government. And then there's the historical pattern. Big rallies in gold have often been a preview for big rallies in Bitcoin. The source we're looking at calls this a whole new ballgame for digital assets. And you can see it in the numbers. I mean, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF recently pulled in over $287 million in a single day. The institutions are no longer coming. They are here.
All this positive momentum is leading to some pretty bold predictions. For example, analyst Tom Lee suggests that with these new tailwinds, Bitcoin could potentially hit a staggering $250,000 by 2026.
And all of this leaves us with one final big question. I mean, it's a complicated and messy story, right? It involves sanctions, survival, political power plays, the whole shebang. But could this weird, strange case of Venezuela's missing Bitcoin, could it actually be one of the key catalysts that kicks off the entire next chapter for digital assets? It's something to think about.